welcome to our running section of the newsletter this month. We're going to be looking at hips primarily. So I'm going to show you a runner in full pace, and then we'll slow it down so we can just pick out some of the things. And we're looking and focusing on the hip primarily. So what I want you to see, we've got the dots on there. So the hip we can see is the right hip, and as we're pushing through we can see that we're lacking a little bit of hip extension, so the knee's not getting behind. Because the runner is arching into the back, you can see the back just arch. She gets through tight through the hip flexors at the front of the hip, and you'll see also as a result of that having to push off through that toe quite dramatically to be able to get the range. The body knows it wanting to run forwards, it knows it's trying to propel itself forwards, it can't access the hip, so we'll find something else, and this leads to overuse and injury problems. Here we go, post the sessions, and what we'll do again, once we slow it down, we'll be able to see the progress that's been made. So now we can slow it down, we can see if we look at that foot, so we've done 6 sessions, we're getting better at getting that foot to push off. There's still a little bit of toeing, calf still wanting to get activated through there, but we can see we're getting some better hip extension now, getting the knee drive through. But we're getting that hip extension. Now, I would say we're getting about 5 degrees hip extension. So there's still more to get here. And there's quite a lot of concentration and work being done to maintain that position from this side view. But a good improvement in terms of the basics. So in 6 sessions, you can make quite a dramatic change. Here we are now looking from behind. So we can see what's happening here. In slow motion again, so just looking at the hips, it's a little bit of drop, it's quite a narrow base that you can see that the feet are crossing in front of each other. That indicates some lateral hip weakness and possibly a little bit of core weakness, so we're getting a little bit of rotation happening as a result of the feet crossing across in front of each other, and the heels are quite low, so the heels are getting to about mid-calf height. So the hips reasonably stable, those 2 dots on the back. If we get a big angle on those, then we're starting to think the hip lateral control is more of a problem. But I would say here what we're looking at is actually just that narrow base. So here we are post again, and we'll be able to slow this down in a second, and you can see the changes that have occurred. So we can see instantly that the heels are coming higher, which is good. Still running, again, this is 6 sessions, so still running a little bit on a narrow base, but we're a bit more dynamic through the hip and the trunk and the core, which is keeping everything nice and level. So again, it's time. Once you make some changes, you need to then develop that further. So I think for this runner, we need to keep working on improving that hip flexibility, keep proving on getting into activating the glutes. 6 sessions, so possibly 8 weeks is not very long to get that muscle working effectively. So we need to do more work on that, and that will help improve further and take more pressure off the calf and prevent other injuries. Hope that helps. See you soon. Cheers.